In this lesson, we are going to be learning about stratified samples. A stratified sample is when you break a sample into subgroups. Oftentimes those are based on gender, date, location, age, things like that, and then we sample them. The way we choose a stratified sample is, first of all, we divide them into groups by trait, so that could be the age, gender, whatever we want it to be. And then we're going to conduct separate, simple, random samples for each subgroup. So we're going to do our own simple, the same way we're going to conduct it. We'll choose in the same way, but we choose from different samples. So for example, what that means, you'll see on the bottom of your page, is the one on the left. Here's a list of people. I numbered them 0, 1 to 11, and I'm going to use, let's say, table A to, or table B to pick out who my random table of digits is going to work. So here, let's say if I was going to choose 3 people, I would choose 3 based on these 11. So if I went to my calculator and did a random integer, those 3 would be chosen. Okay? In a stratified sample, I separate them here. In this case, I use gender. So I have the females first. I numbered them 0 through 6, 0, 1 through 6, and then the males, 1 through 5. And I probably wouldn't have needed, just so you know, in this case, I wouldn't have needed these zeros, right? We could have done single digits since there's not 2 digits of data. So it would have been okay to leave off those zeros. And here, now I'm going to do a simple random sample of each of these. So I'm going to go through and do a separate random sample for both. The one thing that's really important to note is I don't have to pick the same number of people from each group. Maybe I pick 2 females and I pick 3 males. It doesn't have to be the same amount. I'm going to be looking at males and females separately, so when I look at my data, I'm going to be talking about them in different contexts, and it's normally okay. So the important thing is that I lost my train of thought there for a minute, but where I am, I can choose different groups, and you don't have to keep them the same numbers. That's an important thing to point out with stratified samples. The advantages of a stratified sample, so why we want to do that. It allows separate conclusions for each subgroup, and it decreases the variability. There are times when there are differences in gender. There are differences in ages. If I was going to take a survey of how much education people had, I might want to see if there's a trend in different age groups. So I might go, the 18 to 25 range, 26 to 35, 36 to 45, 46 to 55, and so on. And maybe I notice when I do my study, wow, this age group really has a lot of education for some reason. They really valued college. They went to get their master's or their postdoctorate. This age group, not as many people are graduating from college. I wonder what's going on there. And so we oftentimes want to divide people by gender or age because there are differences. Sometimes ethnicity could be a reason to divide people up. Religious beliefs, Democrats, Republicans. There's lots of ways to categorize people. And depending on what you're surveying, it's not biased to separate people based on those things. Sometimes you want to know what the Democrats think on an issue versus the Republicans, or what the independents think on an issue when you're looking at political surveys. And so it's not biased to do that, but it is a useful tool that they will use. So stratified, again, is putting them into groups by age, gender, ethnicity, whatever it would be, and then doing a simple random sample because that's still the best way to survey. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me tomorrow.